Right, so every week, obviously, I've been doing a video on TV to watch. I have actually now returned back to work, but I'm still going to continue doing my videos on this. So, because a lot of you guys are still maybe stuck at home, so just some ideas of things to watch. So, right from the get-go, History 101. It's a 12. I don't actually get why, because from what I've seen of it, it doesn't seem like there's anything that's adult content as such. So I'm surprised at that. And was done in 2020, so it's a new series. It's on Netflix. It's 10 episodes so far, and they're about 20 minutes per episode. These are actually quite good because they're quite informative for kids, for example. They're very short, sort of 20-minute episodes of things in history. For example, just some examples for you. There's one about the space race. There's one about fast food, and they're all quite educating as well. So, like I say, I'm surprised that it's a 12 rating because from what I've seen, there's no bad language. There's no adult themes as such. So I'm surprised that it is a 12. But I mean, I would let my boy watch it. So yeah. Um, I mean, my other boy, my eldest, he's 13, so I mean he'd be fine to watch it anyway. But I'd let my youngest watch it. So yeah. So that's that anyway. History 101. The next one is a program called Ridiculous Rides. Now this is quite good actually. It's Amazon Prime. So it's got a weird age certificate, like you probably noticed in a lot of my videos. They have a 13 plus age rating. Very strange. Um, I don't actually get again why this is a 13 plus. I've watched all of these, and there was nothing in here to suggest that there's adult content of any type really in here. So, yeah, I don't see why kids couldn't watch this. Um, Basically, this program it's at the moment it's 2 seasons, 21 episodes in total, and each episode's about 3 to 4 minutes long. Um, But you can get through them really quickly. But basically, what it is it's all unusual cars that people have got. For example, there's a guy that owns a Batmobile he built from the 1989 movie that Tim Burton did. In my opinion, one of the best looking Batmobiles they did actually. And yeah, he drives one of these around. He actually built it himself. Some of the parts on it are even off the original one. So he had to apparently buy them off eBay, etc. So each one of these, it'll show you a car, and it tells you a little bit story of how they got it or how they built it, etc. And there's lots of really wacky looking cars on there as well. It's not all things like from movies. Um, there's one for one example. There's a guy that drives around in an upside down car. So yeah, there's loads of crazy looking vehicles in it. There's also a guy that's a collector of DeLoreans, and obviously being a collector of DeLoreans, he has got a time machine DeLorean from Back to the Future, as well as a stretch limo DeLorean and various others. And he's very keen to point out he's not a guy that destroys perfectly good cars. These ones that he builds and alters them, they're ones that have been damaged in some sort of way. So yeah, he doesn't wreck decent DeLoreans. Obviously, there's not many of them about now, so he only plays around with the ones that are damaged. So, but yeah, like I say, good series. I mean, I got through both series in literally no time. You can watch the whole lot in just over an hour, easy. So, and they are quite good. And I mean, kids will love it because, like I say, Batmobile, time machine, upside down cars. There's one where a guy has built a car out of a plane. So, what's not to like? These kids will love this. So, right. So moving on to the next one, history of pop culture. This one, it's only 6 episodes. The episodes vary in length. Some of them can be like 6 minutes, others can be like 20 minutes. So they vary in length. Like I say, only 6 episodes. The age rating 7 plus. Again, another weird age rating. And this came out in 2019 and it's on Amazon Prime. Um, yeah, I quite enjoyed this actually, because it reminded me a lot of stuff that I grew up with, you know, cartoons and things like that. What happened to things like, for example, they talk about the history of Toys R Us on one of them, and you know why it went bankrupt and things like that. So again, very knowledgeable for kids. I've got to admit, a good majority of it is probably before your kids' time. But, you know, again, it's a little piece of history. And, you know, let's be honest, Toys R Us, although they were open for 70 years, they only shut a few years ago. So, you know, it's all in there what happened. So, yeah, little bite-sized bits of knowledge. And it's quite interesting. You know, pop culture, everybody in some sort of way is involved in some sort of pop culture. So there'll be at least one thing in there you'll like. So, yeah, so that's worth looking at. I found it quite informative and quite interesting, actually. So, right, so next one for all you gamers out there, the video game years. It's 13 plus. Again, it's an Amazon Prime thing, so it's an odd age rating. And it came out in 2015, so it is actually quite old now. And this is good. This goes through the history of gaming. It's 10 episodes in total, and it goes from 1980 right up until 1989. So it goes through what happened in that year of gaming. So, say for example, if the NES or had just come out and it was a leading console, then they'll talk about that. And or for example, Sonic the Hedgehog come out and it stormed everything, they'll talk about that. Basically, they cover everything that happened in that year for gaming. So that one's good. You know, there's a lot. They talk about a lot of retro stuff, obviously. You know, Pac-Man and various things like that. So again, if you're a gamer and there's things that you're not quite sure about the industry, watch that. You'll find a lot out. You'll learn a lot. So yeah, so that's a good one for gamers, definitely. Right, now this one's more, I suppose, of certain tastes. I'm a boxing fan myself. In the past I've done martial arts, a little bit of boxing. So this one, you know, when it comes to boxing stuff, I always gravitate towards that anyway. So this one is called Fallen Soldier. It came out in 2013. Obviously, it's only just on Amazon Prime because Amazon Prime wasn't a thing then. But yeah, it's come out in 2013. Like I said, it's Amazon Prime, so again, another weird age rating, 13 plus. And it's basically, it goes around three boxers. The main story is around Gerald G-Man McClellan, should I say? I've got his name wrong. And Nigel the Dark Destroyer Benn. So, if anybody knows, back in 1995, they had a legendary fight. And as a result, G-Man ended up with a bleed on the brain and he ended up with brain damage. So, basically, this follows, you know, tells you what happened, what they're like now, and at some point they meet up as well. I'm not going to tell you every single detail because you want to watch it. It's good. If you're a boxing fan, you'll enjoy it. And it also goes around Iran the Blade Barkley. Um, he's involved in it in a certain point of view as well. And his story, basically, it goes around how at one point he was the top of his game. Everybody wanted to know him. Everyone was throwing money at him. And then, you know, obviously when he came out of boxing, everybody disappeared and the money dried up. And at this point in this story, he was 45 and he was having to start boxing again just to earn money. So, you know, it's quite a sad story. In fact, a lot of it is quite sad what happened to these guys. So, but it's an important piece of sport history. So, if you are a boxing fan, even if you don't know who these guys are, give it a watch. It's good. I mean, I obviously I remember these guys. Nigel Benn was a legend. So was G-Man. So was the Blade. They were all legends. So, yeah, just have a watch. If you're a boxing fan, you know you've got nothing to lose with this. It's a nice little thing to watch. So, and that runs for 49 minutes, so it's not massively long. You know, if you've got an odd hour, just sit down and give it a watch. It's easy watching as well, and it's very heartfelt. A lot of what you watch, you do really feel sorry for these guys when you see what they've been through. So, but yeah, it's a good thing to watch. If you're a boxing fan, you'll love it. So, right. So now we're going to move into movies. So, first one is The Founder. Now, this one has actually got a normal age rating considering it's Amazon Prime. This is a 12. And trust me, it is a 12. Don't let your kids watch it. It came out in 2017. It's starring Michael Keaton, Laura Dern, and Linda Cardellini. And it's an hour and 55 minutes long. Now, if you see, when you look it up, or if you look it up on Amazon Prime, you'll see Michael Keaton and you'll notice the McDonald's logo behind it. And you might think, oh God, I don't want to watch that. Watch it. It's good. So basically, it's the story of McDonald's, which might sound boring at first hand, but trust me, if you watch it, it's not boring. You'll realise very quickly that the guy that owned McDonald's was a bit of an arsehole, to be honest. The best way to put it is he pretty much stole the company from under two brothers without them realising. So, obviously, a lot of us eat McDonald's here and there. Some people eat too much of it. But none of us really knew the story, did we? So if you watch this film, I mean, it does make you look at things very differently. It's like, I've been giving that guy my money for all them years. And look what he did to these people. So, yeah, if you're unsure, just give it a watch. Trust me, within the first hour, you'll be like, right, I've got to watch this to the end. Easily, because you wouldn't believe the shady things this guy did. So, yeah, like I say, it's hour and 55 minutes. It's a good film. It is good. And this one is a free to watch one. It is included in your subscription, so you don't have to pay extra for it. I've watched this actually more than once because I thought it was that good. I mean, I like true life things anyway, but I also like a lot of things like gangster movies, like Goodfellas, Casino, Wolf of Wall Street. Technically not a gangster film, but same sort of era. And because I like things like that, I like this. So basically, if you like things like that, like The Wolf of Wall Street, and you found that interesting, watch The Founder, because you will feel the same when you've watched that. Because in a lot of ways, he acts just like the guy in The Wolf of Wall Street. So yeah, give it a look. And my last one is Steve Jobs. This one's a 15, so don't let your kids watch it. There's quite a bit of bad language in it. It came out in 2015, and this is on Netflix. So again, it's free to watch. Starring Michael Fassbender, Kate Winslet, and Seth Rogen. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes long. So, on one of my previous videos, I believe I mentioned that I watched one of the other films about Steve Jobs, and it's actually called Jobs. And the Steve Jobs is played by, I think it's Ashton Kutcher. And I actually quite enjoy that film, actually. It's good. This one, it's around him, but it's a different period. When you watch Jobs, it kind of covers him throughout his career with Apple and all that. Whereas with this one, it situates on just a certain little space of years. It's got a much more serious tone to it. One of the things I would say is that if Steve Jobs was actually like how Michael Fassbender's playing him, then he was a very nice guy. So as you watch it, he changes, obviously. As he gets older, he becomes, I'd say he's more aware of how the world works and how he should behave. That's the way I'd put it. But the first half hour, maybe even an hour of it, you'll be sitting there thinking, man, what a douche. Like, because he's horrible to people. I won't go into too much details. I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, let's just put it this way: like he doesn't even think about his own daughter. So he's not a nice guy. So yeah, like I say, it's got a much more serious tone to it. But because of that, obviously they go into a little bit more detail on how these certain things happened than they did in the Jobs one by that had Ashton Kutcher in. So, yeah, this one's got a more serious tone to it. So, if you are into stuff like that, if you're into, Apple and all the retro stuff and what went on back then this is something that you'll enjoy, So, yeah, so that's my recommendations for this week. Anyway, there's quite a few on there, so if you do end up watching these, they'll keep you going for a while. Yeah, so that's my list for this week. So I'm going to end it there. Nerdy Geezer out.